Let's finish up ARR here. That is the goal. Come on. Oh, got the whole band together. Look at all these people. There's a party in here. She hasn't said a word to me since the rescue. Was it all for nothing? What's next on the agenda? We're ready to get to work. For many years, I dedicated my life to the research and development of Magitech, unable or unwilling to see the repercussions of my work, and though I have since left Garlemald behind, its scientists continue to build upon my work. I fear that this new weapon may be another example, an ancient relic enhanced with technologies I created, yet even should that be the case, it would still require a brilliant mind to... No, he didn't. Unfortunately, I've already seen Praetorium, so I know who you're talking about.
Instead of gratitude for coming to his rescue, Papa Limo called me a scatterbrain. Next time he gets caught by the Empire, I'm leaving him to rot. Had I not intervened, the Guardian soldier may well have done for Ida, lowering her guard in the heat of battle as though she were on an evening stroll. How much of a scatterbrain can she be? Well, at least we cannot fault her for being inconsistent. The counter-offensive would come to require the total commitment of every allied nation, as well as the flawless coordination of all forces. I pray the Council understands this. We may have surmounted this latest trial, but the worst is yet to come. We must remain focused. I will not see our efforts wasted in futile regret. And as for Thancred, he and I have much to discuss.
Voiced.
I cannot well express my relief to think that the Alliance came so close to surrender.
But the fire in their hearts has been rekindled, and they will fight to the last.
This warmth inside. Did you feel it too, Grandfather? I would know something. Was that your power at work earlier?
Nothing of the sort. The leaders of Eorzea had lost their way. I merely helped them to find it again. Oh, hello. Yes, our party returned just a moment ago. How close are you? It's all right, Sid.
We must needs plan our next move. Pray continue liaising with your respective nations. Sid, would you be our man in Ul'dah?
I'll be whatever and wherever you need me to be.
We haven't a moment to waste. All right, let's do this!
Thancred's fate weighs heavy on my mind. I cannot bear to think of him in thrall to an Ascian. Mayhap you know this already, but the Ascians are immortal beings without physical form. Since time immemorial, they have fanned the flames of chaos from the shadows. That they might work unseen, the Ascians entrap and possess mortal men by means of malign artifacts known as crystals of darkness. One such crystal may yet be the key to saving Thancred.
Oh, you just have one?
This is a crystal of darkness.
A mere replica, created using data obtained from anomalous crystals found across Eorzea.
That makes more sense.
It comes to us courtesy of the students of Baldessian, our distant allies. Even for an Archon, Thancred's talents are exceptional. We all had complete confidence in him. It was for this reason that none among us foresaw the danger in sending him to investigate the Ascians alone.
Thancred had been striving to fill the void left by Louisoix. Yet, it was plain that he was overtaxing himself.
I almost can't see him past my freaking ring.
Yeah, he would volunteer for everything, and work till he was dizzy.
And the toll taken by his exertions made him vulnerable to Ascian influence.
The crystal that binds Thancred must be somewhere on his person. If we could but destroy it, his Ascian possessor would be compelled to relinquish control over him. You have proven the stoutest of allies, standing with us through thick and thin. Yet the most perilous struggle is still to come. For the sake of the realm and Thancred, I ask that you lend us your strength once more. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart. As I am sure you are aware, the realm was saved from certain doom 5 years ago by heroes known as the Warriors of Light. What you may not be aware of is that your many feats in service to the Scions have prompted folk to make certain comparisons. I must confess, you do remind me of them. Yet remember this, however glorious the past, it is the hero's lot to be judged on the deeds of the present. A new darkness threatens the realm, and the people cry out for a savior. I believe that you are he, a warrior of light, here in the present, guided by the crystal's will. Come, my friends, let us fight to safeguard the future of our beloved Eorzea.
Voiced? Ah, they got me. All present? Then let us begin. We have received the details of the impending operation. In what promises to be the largest single counteroffensive in the realm's troubled history, the Alliance will strike at every Imperial stronghold standing upon Eorzean soil. As might be expected, the operation will be complex, but you need not commit its intricacies to memory. It is enough that each man understands his part and plays it to the best of his ability. There's that map. There's that map! The finer instructions you will receive at each staging point. To begin with, let us review the distribution of our forces. From the west to the east, the Maelstrom of Lemsalamentsa, the Immortal Flames of Uldar, the Order of the Twin Adder of Gridania. Next, let us examine the locations of the Imperial strongholds. This is why a map has to be accurate. Near Lemsalamentsa, we have Castrum Ocidens, situated in eastern Vilebrand, and the Castrum Marinum, which lies to the south and east in the midst of the Rotano Sea. No, it does not! It's right here! It's right here. There is like a tiny little nubbin right there, like a little scratch on the map. That is Castrum Marinium. This is just wrong. He put it on Hellbreaker Isle next to Lox Lai, which is where the Grand Companies go to train. It's like when France was testing nukes in Fiji or whatever. Like, it's just... This is Grand Company training ground. It's a shared space right here. It wouldn't make sense to do that there. Castrum Marinium is right here. You can see it. You can walk out of the Waking Sands, where we are right now, and you can walk out to the coast, and you can see Castrum Marinium. It's right here. Near Uldar, we have Castrum Meridium, and to the north an coastal outpost at Cape Westwind, which connects to Castrum Meridium and the mainland by the means of a Magitech transporter. That's not there. That's down here. That's correct. Correct? Correct. Wrong, but close. Wildly wrong. Near Gridania, we have Castrum Oriens, which lies upon the eastern edge of the Twelveswood. That's probably about right. And finally, in Mordona, stands Castrum Sentry, a thorn in the heart of Eorzea. The forthcoming operation will see Allied forces assault each of the aforementioned locations with the ultimate objective of destroying the Empire's new weapon, housed within Castrum Meridianum. As one might expect, the Black Wolf's seat of power, Castrum Meridium boasts all but impenetrable defenses. If we are to breach it, we must needs isolate it from its sister strongholds. To do otherwise would be to risk being caught twixt hammer and anvil. The operation will comprise of 4 distinct phases all told. The first shall see us eliminate one of Blackwolf's most trusted lieutenants, Ritatin Sans Arvina. According to our intelligence, the Prefectus is due to visit the Imperial outpost at Cape Westwind for an inspection. This is why that location would matter. It's right here. Right here. This point. Not in there, because if it was, you can go visit Cape Westwind, you can go there, you would be able to see the land across from it. It's a cape, right? Just like that's a cape. Down here's a cape. It's a cape. It's this cape right here. On the western edge of Thanalan. It's appropriately named. When he arrives, we shall dispatch an elite adventurer unit to eliminate him. Meteor, we would have you lead this assault. That is correct! You landed there! You did it! Ridiculous. Ritatin is a peerless field tactician. Shorn of his leadership, the garrison at Castrum Occidens will be a snake without its head. Phase 2 will sever Castrum Meridium's primary lines of supply. That's true. Ridiculous. As soon as Ritatin's presence is confirmed at the coastal outposts, the Maelstrom will lay siege to Castrum Occidens. At that very hour, the Lomensin Armada, helmed by the Admiral herself, shall move to blockade Castrum Marinum. Meanwhile, in the Twelveswood, the Order of the Twin Adder will surround Castrum Oriens. And they'll have the Sylphs to help them. Frexio's been waiting for a chance to avenge these ones. Phase 3 shall see us neutralize Castrum Meridium's defenses, forming our main thrust. The Immortal Flames will march against the stronghold with all their strength, while the enemy's eyes are thus drawn outwards. Another elite adventurer unit shall infiltrate the Castrum. Its mission, to disable the Magitech field generator which protects the Praetorium, a fortress within a fortress whereupon the Ultima weapon is believed to be housed. Meteor, we would have you take command once more. Meanwhile, the Order of the Twin Adder will blockade the railway which connects Sentry and Meridium, preventing the timely arrival of reinforcements from Mordona. A wise precaution. The monstrous locomotive which runs back and forth between the two castra is capacious enough to transport a small army by all accounts. It is well the Garleans did not think to give it wings. Once Meridium's defenses have been compromised, the operation will enter its 4th and final phase. This will see the Immortal Flames enter the stronghold and suppress the remnants of the enemy garrison, allowing Meteor's unit to pass unopposed into the Praetorium, where they will locate and destroy the Ultima weapon. ridiculous. And this feat shall be the operation deemed a success. In addition to the Grand Companies, we can count upon our support of the variety of other parties, and from the pirates of Limsa Lamensa to the monetarists of Uldar, in all, the operation will involve no fewer than 12 major factions. Legend holds that the Archons were 12 in 1, and 1 in 12. It is for this reason that our grand endeavor has been dubbed Operation Archon. Countless free companies have also pledged their swords, and more would join us by the day. At long last, all of Eorzea is rising as one. As before, we Scions shall work in concert with the Grand Companies. Ida and Papalimo, Istola, pray accompany your respective organizations on their missions. Oriange and I would have you represent us in Uldar. Reassure the financiers that they have made a sound investment, and when that is done, pray return here and aid in the coordination of our forces. Tataru, please assist Oriange in any way you are able, and ensure that everyone is kept abreast of the latest developments. Minfilia, Sid, and I shall accompany the main host in advisory capacity. It will be our task to analyze intelligence as it comes into our possession and make the necessary recommendations to command. As Alphino mentioned, you are to lead the elite unit of adventurers whose task it is to see each of Operation Archon's main objectives fulfilled. Yours is the most important role of all, and like to be the most dangerous. Pray choose your party well, and stint not in your preparation. The battle for the future of the realm is about to begin. Together, let us show Black Wolf the power of a united Eorzea. Pray report to the Immortal Flames encampment situated north of here when you are ready to be briefed on your first mission. I cannot stress this enough, but please be careful. May you walk in the light of the crystal. Alright, so let's go back over this. So, first we're going to go to... So they've got a castrum out here, right? That's what they noted? Where is the castrum noted in... That's the corner there. The Ageless Wise. So the Ageless Wise is up here. Right here. So where is this castrum on this side? I thought I remember seeing it. I just don't see it now. And then on this side of things, we have Thanalan, which, here's Cape Westwind. That right there is Castrum Meridium. That's what that says. Marinum. So that's your Castrum Marinum. Was that not the Castrum they referred to? Cape Westwind, Castrum Marinum. Cape Westwind, Castrum Marinum. It's that distance. And that's not just for, like, fitting it on the map. If you go there, that's the freaking distance. It's you can see it. It's a giant castrum right out there. So that is what the Armada's doing. I feel like the Armada could support us at Cape Westwind. If we're really worried that Cape Westwind is this huge strategic hold, we could be backed up by the Armada. So that if he tried to fall back, he would be blocked by the sea. So this Imperial Outpost is the land portion that links to Castrum Marinum. And then this is your river that goes up to allow all of this. To support this. Ignore the map on the background. They let it, like, just shoot off. Okay, if I go back to Lenosha, Eastern Lenosha. Oh, Castrum Occidens, thank you. So it is at the Ageless Wise. So the Ageless Wise is actually possibly theoretically predates the Alligans. So to militarize this, it's not uncommon. It's why, like, Athens received destruction because they were using it as a ammo stronghold. So in the Acropolis, it was a ammo... I think it was during World War II. Yeah, September 26th. Oh, no. Way before. No, that's got to be wrong. That's way before. I don't think I didn't. It wasn't World War II. It was in 1687. The Ottomans had ammunition there, and the Venetians bombed it. And that's when the Acropolis destroyed, like, the Parthenon and stuff. So if you see the Parthenon now, for those of you having trouble picturing the Parthenon, it's this guy. This didn't fall on its own. It fell because it was blown up. Right? This likely would have continued to last and be protected. So this was detonated because it was being used. Having the castrum sit out here in what is like likely a historic site is a big deal. Because if the castrum should ever be battled over, damage to this region would be quite possible. So this is the way this circles around. So, like, that's a huge deal. That they would come out here and damage what is likely a sacred site. And this being a sacred site and being trackable the way it is, the Ageless Wise, implies that it may be sitting on top of an ethereal node of some sort. Because for multiple cultures to respect the same site, when you look at things like Jerusalem, where you have multiple cultures over multiple times in history all caring about it, you need to look at the natural resources of that area and the strategic value. There's likely a reason that they all felt that their various cultures and religions were telling them it was important. Either they all track back to the same religion, right? Islam and Judaism and Christianity all trace back to being like the God of Abraham. Or you have something else going on where you have a strategic value. And so that is what happens when you have like palaces get taken over or churches get taken over. So when you have like the Parthenon, not Pantheon, excuse me. The Pantheon in Rome. This is not a standard church design because this was not a church. It became a church later when the area was taken over by the Christians. This is not a standard church design. And so you end up with churches throughout Italy, Spain, all the way out into like Turkey and things like that, where like the Moors, Islam, Muslim-based cultures, and Christian-based cultures, like the Greeks, were battling. And so you end up with this weird stuff that happens, like in Cyprus. So in Cyprus, you have like Eastern Orthodox meeting. There's some weird stuff that happens in Cyprus. So this is nuts. If you guys have not ever seen Cyprus. So Cyprus was a place where Muslim and Christian cultures were largely seen as living in peace with each other until Turkey, the Muslim parent country of a lot of the people that were Islam here, and the Greek Orthodox, like the Christians here, this treaty was kind of tenuous because the Brits set it up when they bailed out, because the Brits came here and failed because the people of Cyprus were like, hey, we don't necessarily get along with each other, but both of us hate the Brits. So when the Brits backed out to not look like fools, they set this up as like, oh, we're like founding democracy. And so, which is something that like time and time again has been done. It's been done by the US and all that. So we have this UK base area that stayed here. They drew this border. What's crazy about this is this border is not a line. It's not a line. So most of the time you think of a border like being a line, and it's usually based on like a point like this, where we've just said we're just going to draw an east-west line or a north-south line, or I'm from Texas, or it's a line like here, and this line, this goofy shape, is because this is the Red River, right? And then we just split the distances on things like Lake Texoma. So this is the Red River that it's following. So when you zoom in, all of a sudden that goofy line makes a lot more sense. And any of the discrepancies here, I assume, is because the river's changed shape. I don't know for sure. Right? So it's following the Red River. That's what drew the shape. But Cyprus, this line has thickness. So there are cities, this is just a complete aside. There are cities in Cyprus that live entirely inside of the border. Entirely inside of it. Like it's wide enough that you have full cities that live inside this. Because this border here is managed by the UN, which is just bizarre. And so you have things that span it, which is weird. But like you have whole cities here that never, and they just got lost. So there's these like cities that are like ghost towns because once the war was settled and you decided, okay, this side of, you had Turks and Greeks spread across the whole thing. War happens. All the Greeks, whether they lived here or here, get shoved down there. No, Chris, we're never going to get to fishing 2.0. We're going to finish 2.0. Chris misread you. And all the Turks, whether they lived up here, or all the Islamic people, whether they lived up here or here, got pushed up. But once there was peace, if you wanted to, like, you could technically go back. You could go back. You could go live on this side. So it doesn't mean everybody over here is Islamic. It doesn't mean everybody over here is Greek Orthodox. You could go back. Unless your home was freaking here. Isn't that so weird? Like, what a bizarre thing. So, like, maps are fascinating. So for them to go in and, like, have Castrum Occidens sit on the Ageless Wise, like, there's a story here. Why was Castrum Occidens put here? Besides it just being the eastern edge. Why would you not come down and take over Costa del Sol? Why would you not take over one of these islands right here where we do our, like, seasonal quests? Why come that far north of the main city-states? It's much more temperate down here. Why not come take over the God's Grip post-Calamity? Or come take over the Mist and be based out of Red Rooster Stead? Like, why is Castrum Occidens this far north? And so odds are, whatever drew this to be a sacred site also made it a strategic site back then and now. And so I'd love to know what the theory is, why the Ageless Wise was put there in the first place, to become something that's historic and important, ageless. And why was the same conclusion made hundreds of years later by Castrum Occidens? The Shard of Dalamud fell here. So they came to secure the Shard. So why did Dalamud fall here? This can't have been where they were aiming. Was it? That's so weird. Gravity. Gravity's why it came down. Why did it land exactly here? Was it being steered on the way down or just crashed? Right, so like when we crash down rockets today, we predict where they're going to fall. Stuff went everywhere. Because that's what God's Grip is too, right? That's more of it. It was aimed at Cardinal. They weren't wildly off. So the Ageless Wise, this is actually... Do I have my... Do I have, Oh my gosh. Alright. Ageless Wise. Gosh, I wish I had my full map up. I don't know where it's drawn. I have it somewhere. Limsa. I'm gonna get there. I'm going back through time. I have it in a DM. There it is. Okay. So. That's my windroses being placed. So, so that's Costa del Sol. So this is Ageless Wise up here. So, Cartno's right here. So for them to aim for Cartno and it to fall here is actually pretty close. Like, relative to the world. Like, relative to as far off as it could have been. That's Ageless Wise. And this is Cartno. That's Westwind, which hadn't been drawn yet. This side I hadn't updated yet. This is all drawn based on the maps. So the brown stuff means I've actually drawn it. The white stuff was me just tracing the rough map. So it's just interesting that they would land on the Ageless Wise. And I would love to know what their thoughts are on, like, those ancient structures. Do you use those? Like, why not use them? But at the same time, do you preserve them? And that just has a lot to do with what is the Empire's view on history. There have been people through history who have destroyed, they've very, like, salted earth, burned things as they came through, and there have been people who've pillaged things as they've came through. And the question is, what's the objective here? Okay, so the Garleans spent a great amount of time right here. So it was built after Calamity. I don't know what's left here. We don't get to go this far. We go to Hidden Falls and the map stops. So we never get to go here. So we know so little about it other than that it's a significant site. It's why I wish we had a true world we could discover, like World of Warcraft, where you can fly everywhere. Because you could go out here and build lore. And instead, we're bound within these lighter areas, these zones. I can't fly over this mountaintop. Or river, whichever it is. This one's a river. But I can't fly over mountains or through seas, as opposed to in WoW you can. You could explore all of this. I could just get on my bird. Now there's fatigue that'll stop you from getting out too far, but like anywhere there's land, I can be where there's land. So as soon as they add an expansion that supports Garlemald, I can fly here. But I can't get to... I can't get up here. I can't get north of Ogamoro. Which is a bummer. Alright, so I stand by their plan. I think they've got some parts of it wrong, but... Oh, whoa. Oh, just outside. Just outside. Okay, so I can actually... So let's go... I'll go show you why it's important that maps are right, because, like, it appears the Scions don't know that the map is incorrect. Because Alvino marked that map, and he marked it wrong. But he would relay that onto the sailors of Limsa, and they would just self-correct. They understand where the map is. Because sailors would have to know how to navigate the map actually correctly. So it's right there. It's right here. It's not out here. So I am right here, looking up. So that's the one that's being taken on by the ocean. Not over there. So I don't know. As opposed to that's likely looking out towards like Hellbreaker. And as you get there, that would be foggy. That might actually be... Hellbreaker might be too small. We might be seeing Turtleback Island. And from this angle, it would appear very narrow. That might be Turtleback. I'm not sure. Those are closer. But not being able to quite locate that one on the horizon. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you, though. Unless this is the time for the... Is it time for the duty? I'll join you if it's time for the duty. Alright, here we go. I know you're offering to fly me. Let's do this. You are welcome, Media Derplander of the Sounds. As communications officer, it falls to me to issue your orders and provide guidance on the forthcoming missions. Your first mission is to infiltrate the Imperial outpost at Cape Westwind and eliminate Prefectus Rititin at Sas Arvina. All participating units are now in position and awaiting your arrival. Please proceed to the staging point and report to Lieutenant Aldebert. This is but the first step in our bid to purge the realm of the Garlean menace. I shall pray for your success. Why is that guy a Confederate soldier? I don't have that many voices I can do, and I like the really goofy ones to be people I don't think are going to have many lines. Because I can't back it up if we have to follow that guy for 2 expansions. I can't continue that. But I can do it for 1 or 2 lines. It bums me out when we have to like interact with somebody like 6 times and I'm like, I did not plan ahead for this. Alright, here we go. Why do you look familiar? So, you're Media Derplander, the fearless adventurer who's led the assault. We've been expecting you. Our Maelstrom friends report that Rititin Sans Arvina has departed Castromosodens a bell ago. And sure enough, a convoy of Imperial airships landed here just now. The likelihood is our target was aboard one of the vessels. I dispatched scouts to verify his presence before we strike. Commander to all units, requesting status report. This is Antlion 1. Target has not been sighted. What was that shimmer? What happened there? This is Antlion 2. Likewise, target has not been sighted. Antlion 3 here. We've got nothing for you neither. Antlion 4, nothing's to report as of... Wait, disregard previous message. Target sighted. I say again, target sighted. Understood. Please hold your position. Attention all units. This is Lieutenant Aldebert Carter. The first step to Operation Archon begins with us. Should we falter here, all hope of victory will be lost. 'Tis no small burden, but know that I believe in all of you. So believe in yourselves, and together we will blaze a path for our brothers and sisters of the Alliance to follow. We will create multiple diversions and disperse the enemy garrison that should give your people a chance to breach their defenses. Go now, Meteor, and bring us Rititin's head. May Bralga grant you strength. Commence diversionary maneuvers. Hey, I'm dressed like you! I'm dressed like you! Oh, come on, man. Alright. Chocobo and me are gonna wreck your face. Whoa. Dude, I got this guy. I've got him. Okay, here we go. Wait for it. Huh, that's so suspicious. Everybody appears to be dead, and I can't quite think why. Oh, this is really easy. You just walk right in. No big deal at all. All right. The Pantsless Wonder pulls the last two. Oh, you're just standing here? You're just standing there and they're not doing anything about it? Yes, this makes sense. This makes sense, yes. Obviously, Ul'dah would have a representative standing here. Sure. You couldn't appear after I killed them all. You have to be here, just hanging out. Sure. Lots of immersion breaking here. Oh. That's really it. Okay. I'm ready.